Not one more! 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 Not one more!
Alright, so we're about to head out. Got a speech hopefully I'll be able to give. Who knows? And I'll probably get some different sides on the issue and stuff, so here we go.
I don't feel like it's necessarily changed. The mission and the goal is still the same. We want comprehensive and common sense gun laws in this country. That's still the goal.
I'm an ER doc, I'm board certified, residency trained. I've seen plenty of trauma. I've been taken hostage and held by machine guns and beaten. But that's not why I'm here. We're here to hopefully educate people up that we have a terrible crisis and it begins with us holding these people accountable. I came up with this idea because this is where the rubber meets the road, and we also have blood on our hands for keeping this guy and people like him in office. And Roy Blunt's is the same ilk. We've got to educate people, and we've got to let these people know that we've got their number. They've either got to change their tune or we've got to vote them out. That's what I'm here for. All politics are fought on the local level. The adage is true, and that begins with this guy because he's up for voting right now.
I am here for the kids. They are tired of the way things are. They know things can change, and they asked for a little help, and I was more than willing to give them.
What is your role in the protest today?
I like to think of it as I bought a new Mustang and gave them the keys. I'm just a facilitator. They just told me what they wanted to see happen, and I tried to make it happen.
I'm here for sensible gun laws for the state of Missouri.
Nice. What do you think that today will accomplish?
Well, I think it will show the fact that over the bulk of Americans want sensible gun reform.
What is Moms Demand Action?
It started in the wake of Sandy Hook, and it's about people, moms particularly, want to see that we just have common sense gun reform, like universal background checks, and just that there's many ways we can keep what the people say.
Who are you hoping hears you today?
Everyone. We're especially looking at people who maybe weren't quite aware of the scope of how many kids are out there dying. Not just the kids in schools. The kids dying in schools only comprise about 3% of all the kids that are getting shot to death. We're looking at all the youth in America. The black kids, the white kids, the poor kids, the rich kids are all dying from these gunshots. There's got to be a way to help them.
Main program will start at about noon. Here over the next few minutes, we'll be hearing some great music from Jessica Orchard, as well as a couple of students. We invite you to mingle, walk around. If somebody wants to start a chant or two, like, not one more! Well, how about enough? How about never again? As we do that, as a group, take some pictures of your signs. We're going to have a great day.
So, what are you here for today?
I am here to protest gun violence against students.
And you're part of the organizers, right?
Yes.
What did you do exactly?
We meet, we talk about our future plans, we organize people, we make sure everyone is here, we make sure people get to the performances, and we just do anything we can to make sure that our protests are as great as we can make them.
What are you hoping today will accomplish?
I'm hoping that people will realize that this is a real important cause that people actually care about, and it's not just some abstract concept.
Who are you trying to get your message across to?
Everyone.
Yeah, that's good. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
I'm here to support the students in the March for Our Lives. I'm with Moms Demand Action. The way life is today. We're so impressed with the students and all that they are doing. I just think that they are marvelous, and
What are you hoping that today will accomplish?
I hope that the legislators see that they need to start doing something try to end gun violence.
My first 5 years, yes.
And what does Moms Demand Action mean to you?
Moms Demand Action is a group of moms who have been been around for 5 years. We had 4 million supporters across the United States. And we are just trying to get sensible gun laws.
Oh, really?
Second Amendment, we are non-partisan.
Yeah.
We feel like we've got to do something.
And clean up.
Whoa, I'm waking up. I feel it in my bones, enough to make my systems blow. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive.
Missouri. We're here to let everybody know that we are part of the community, that there is a Black Lives Matter movement that's growing right here in Springfield, and it's a multicultural movement made up of black people, white people, Latino people. We are a community. Equality is unity. That's basically what we've been saying. Equality is unity. So the NRA and their malicious policies have affected the black community in a very deep way for a very long time. So we are just as much a part of this discussion and this debate as anyone else.
I just want to make sure that the community knows that Black Lives Matter is support of building the community. That we're not here to take down the community, and the black stigma that black people are always trying to criminalize, take down, and destroy the community is a shame, and that's not true. We're out here to show that we can support our people, and we just want our people to support us for the same issues that we're out here fighting for today. I have my children, this is my son, this is my daughter, and I'm a single mother. Say hi, Malaysia. And you know, it's hard already to fight this fight that way, but to know that our community also supports our children and things that they're going through in the minority groups out here, we just want to make sure that everybody just comes together and everybody can support one another and to create that change. Right. We are a part of the community. We don't have to beg to be a part of the community. We're already there.
To stop gun violence, stop killing. Black Lives Matter.
I'm here to show my support for the safety of kids. I'm hoping that it'll make a difference in the mindset of people, both merchants, Congress people, school principals, everybody. They know we care. They know we've lost lives. We're asking for people to stand up, tell the Congress we will remember in November, and vote accordingly and show that we're trying to protect our kids.
I'm here because my mama marched. I'm marching for my granddaughter.
Is that who's in the picture?
This is Ruby.
She's adorable.
She loves to learn. She's the future. I'm a mama bear, and this has got to change. I want a better world for all of you young people. I'm going to be 6 feet under, and it's your world, and think your kids are going to make a huge change. And I think Ruby's going to be in good hands.
Thank you.
Silence, and we will continue to demand action. We march because not one more child should ever have to face a tragedy like this. Never again should our nation allow this to happen. We march because we want change. Today, passionate people in over 830 cities around the world are marching and rallying for one of the greatest reasons imaginable, your children. Today, we march not just for the children being killed in our schools, but also for the thousands that have been slaughtered on the streets and playgrounds of our cities, at churches and concerts. So who's ready for change?
Which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm here today because those 17 people could have been me, or one of these beautiful little kids over here. It could have been anybody. So I'm here to march for them, and yeah, I'm here to sing for them too. Okay. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
There are those out there who try to take us apart, point out our differences, talk badly about people of different races. They attempt to separate us because they know that together we are formidable. We will change this country. We must change this country. For these people right here, why is this even an issue?
Why? Thank you.
I'm so proud to be here and be part of this, but we're talking about protecting our children in schools. It's almost ludicrous.
It's supposed to be safe.
So, to those who seek to separate us, I say no. We will use our collective genius to come together and say enough.
Enough.
We the people will speak with our voice, and one voice, and we will say enough.
Enough.
a future where our children will lead us in ways that we have yet to even begin to see. We the people will not allow our children to be slaughtered in their schools. We the people, we now say, enough!
Can I interview you for a school project?
No, I think one of these other gentlemen that's open carry probably would help you a lot better.
Okay.
I'll be more than happy.
Okay. So, why are you here today?
To protect my right to conceal carry and to keep all of my firearms.
Who are you here with?
Myself.
Who are you hoping hears you today?
Just that my voice is heard, that we as gun owners will not just surrender our rights just because people don't like them. And guns are so misunderstood. You know, I hear all this talking about students getting shot and students walking out of school. I don't see students walking out of high school for the thousands and hundreds of thousands of teenagers that are killed texting and driving. But the gun's the problem? I don't think so.
Virginia Tech, 32 murdered. Fort Hood, 13 murdered. Aurora, 12 murdered. Navy Yard Headquarters, 12 murdered. San Bernardino, 14 murdered. Sandy Hook, 26 murdered. Sutherland Springs, Texas, 26 murdered. Pulse Nightclub, 49 murdered. Mandalay Bay, 58 murdered. Parkland High School, 17 murdered. And only 3 days ago in Great Mills, Maryland, 2 murdered. I just read a list of the deadliest mass shootings in the past decade. How many of these had we already forgotten about?
So, my name is Zoe Hancock. I'm 17 years old and I'm a senior at Central High School. So, the first thing I'll be doing is reading the mission statement provided by students at Parkland and Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Not one more. We cannot allow one more child to be shot at school. We cannot allow one more teacher to make a choice to jump in front of a firing assault rifle to save the lives of students. We cannot allow one more family to wait for a call or a text that never comes. Our schools are unsafe. Our children and our teachers are dying. We must make it our top priority to save these lives. March for Our Lives is created by, inspired by, and led by students across the country who will no longer risk their lives waiting for someone else to take action. Today, the kids and families of March for Our Lives have taken to the streets of Washington, D.C., Springfield, Missouri, and 833 other cities and towns around the world. The collective voices of the March for Our Lives movement will be heard. School safety is not a political issue. There cannot be two sides to doing everything in our power to ensure the lives and futures of children who are at risk of dying while should be learning. The mission and focus of March for Our Lives is to demand that a comprehensive and effective bill be immediately brought before Congress to address these gun issues. No special interest group, no political agenda is more critical than the timely passage of legislation to effectively address gun violence that are rampant in our country. Every kid in this country now goes to school wondering if this day might be their last. Our parents watch their child leave for school wondering if they'll come home again. We live in fear, but it doesn't have to be this way. Change is coming and it starts now. Inspired by and led by the kids who hope for our future. Their young voices will be heard. Stand with us today. Refuse to make us the mass shooting generation. Refuse to allow one more needless death. In the past week, I have seen my classmates and my peers organize town halls, organize walkouts, and organize the events that you are at today. I am here to tell you that teenagers have power. We would not be so shocked at the recent action of teenagers if we did not spend so much time depicting them as one-dimensional, selfish, and vain caricatures of humans that we never were. Those defending the Second Amendment are very scared of teenagers armed only with the First. other students and one teacher. It happened again and again and 31 more times, and we have not seen any action. Children are raised with the understanding that adults fix things, that they protect us. No student has reason to believe that today. The plight of 200,000 students who have been affected by gun violence in schools since 1999 deserve the same response.
We are here to demand common sense gun legislation now! They tell us as students, they say, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know policy, and what I have seen here today is that high school students know policy. They know what we need in this country to affect change. We demand increased background checks. We demand decreased access to AR-15s, which 50% of mass shooters in the past decade have used to murder innocent civilians. And we demand that there be no guns in schools, period.
My name's Raven, and I'm here to protest gun laws and to fight for Black lives. Black Lives Matter, people, and we don't need guns in schools. A lot of people say that local protests don't matter, but if we didn't have all these little protests like here in small Springfield, Missouri, there wouldn't be as much impact. And I hope that with all the little arguments and protests and things like right here, it'll bring an uproar. And people will know, we're not here to shut up. We're not going to be silenced. We're not going to shut up, and we're going to continue to fight for this. And I hope this changes, if not the laws, at least the views.
We demand to feel safe in school. We demand not to be murdered in school. And we demand an end to the senseless murders of American civilians. We demand the ears of our legislators, and we will have change. We will. Students in Parkland, Florida. We will not forget 22-year-old Stephen Clark unarmed, shot in his own backyard. Where's the outrage for him? What? We will not forget the countless Black lives lost at the hands of police brutality. We will not sit down and stop speaking until our legislators hear us and enact concrete policy changes. I'm the director of Team Millennial, the group that was behind the citywide school walkouts yesterday. Yesterday, hundreds and hundreds of high school students and college students from MSU, Drury, Kickapoo, Central, Parkview, Hillcrest, Glendale, and public high schools walked out of class in solidarity to demand gun reform. Together, right now, we're making history. Together, we can shut down the epidemic of gun violence in this country, but we have to stay really angry. We have to stay really loud. We have to be informed, and we have to show up to vote. Together, we can end this. Not one more!
We're protesting today because gun violence has gotten out of control in this country, and it definitely needs to be rectified immediately. The NRA is pushing for guns, more guns, and we need a lot less guns, actually. Kids are dying in schools, and we want to regulate that. What? Less guns, more dogs. Actually, guns, more dogs. Nice.
Who are you hoping hears you today?
Missouri legislators mostly, because it's kind of a grassroots thing. I would love to eventually get to Washington to change laws at a federal level, but mostly Missouri legislators to change local laws about guns, ban assault rifles, etc.
Everything starts locally before you can go nationally.
What do you think today will change?
There are so many people here. We think it will really call attention to the issue of gun violence and help change laws, help catch attention of people who have the power to change laws, and eventually get better common sense.
In my eyes and in the eyes of my peers, Springfield Public Schools does not do enough to handle threatening behavior. My friends have felt threatened and or been threatened and reported it as we are often encouraged to do. So what has Springfield done to help these students? The answer is nothing. They tend to shove any issues, especially controversial, among the student body, among the rug to save a reputation. They have even made efforts to suppress and silence students who have been victims of threats or intimidating behavior. This worries me because this is exactly what the Parkland School did in regard to Nicholas Cruz. He was reported about 20 different times for concerning and threatening behavior, and the school basically did nothing about it. And a year later, he was able to go out and buy an AR-15 relatively easily. The fact that Springfield Public Schools is going through the same motions of saving face, just like Parkland, should be concerning to everyone, including themselves. Another aspect of this that I would like to mention is something that happened at Central during my freshman year of high school. A couple months into the school year, a gun went off in the Central Commons. Although no one was hurt, a gun should have never been able to make it into the school in the first place.
Since the Sandy Hook Massacre on December 12, 2014, when 20 first graders were killed in their school, more children have died because of gun violence in America than the combined combat deaths of our troops in Afghanistan and Iraq since 9/11. Black teenage boys are particularly at risk. More than a third of black males who die between the ages of 15 and 19 are killed with a gun. A child dies from an accidental shooting every week, and that's likely an undercount. 91% of children under 15 are killed with guns die in the U.S. Since doing nothing now isn't working, we're demanding that U.S. Congress and the Missouri legislature do something now. It will never again be too soon to talk about gun law reform. Never again.
In the lead up to today's rally, I've heard a lot of people say that as organizers and as demonstrators, you are too young to make a difference. You are too naive and idealistic. Which makes me wonder, are these folks not familiar with history?
We are one community. We are stronger together. Just a quick word. Some of these words, a lot of y'all are very familiar with. I didn't have much time to prepare it, but I'm sure you've heard this before. First they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for the gays, and I did not speak out because I was not gay. Then they came for the Mexicans. Then they came for the trans. Then they came for the disabled. Then they came for the blacks. Then the NRA came for our children, and we said enough.
Y'all think young people don't care about gun violence? That's not true. We ain't going for none of that. None of that.
by gun violence. During our very own tragedies, we have been silenced, challenged, and forgotten, and left to try and save ourselves on our own by the majority. And though we have few allies from other communities, they are threatened and abandoned for their support contribution to our needs daily. Not just by white people, but also by some of those in our own communities, due to the perceived conception that black tears, marches, and gatherings calling out for change is a form of whining, complaining, and just plain old defiance, or not doing anything relevant or productive. This is not true, and we as Black Lives Matter are here to change that perception. The Parkland Students Massacre created an outrage that many times minority students have kept in their hearts about their own communities. Their ability to pronounce publicly what is going on with their communities could cause themselves to get shot, killed, harassed, or even thrown into jail for life. The cry for help for black students is usually ignored, reversed, and turned into the minds of some as predatory and bad for the community. When they speak up, they are not giving comfort and support. Instead, they are conditionally chosen and told that everyone has this issue, so there is no reason they should shout about it. They are usually overlooked, ambushed with the same violence and negativity they are fighting, and in turn, some have built the perception that they are forced to support others who did not take the time to support them. Where they slept in pain and dreamed of sad flashbacks, where their families were grieving over dead bodies and they could not focus in school. The end result that they were not supported and their face or identity created a bad stigma for the community. We are here to let this community know that though the things which I said are true, our hearts are not hardened. We, Black Lives Matter, will make sure that black faces are present in this community. The other side of this is that they, our police, our government, our authority, must crack down on themselves. By limiting the immediate use of guns and limiting the amount of times an individual can be touched with a stun gun that law enforcement partakes in when taking down a convict or supposed non-guilty until proven criminal. The more they use it in the light of I was afraid or scared beyond the intensive training I have received, the more they are contributing to violent normalcy that we are so upset at today. They set those standards, not the people, so they truly need to be held accountable. A violent act on a white person today is 10 times more likely to happen to a minority individual. Almost done, y'all. Gun violence is out of control, and it's out of control in the areas that we cannot place a restriction, because those people have waivers. Those people can lie, and we have no ways to protect ourselves against them. Help us fight the other side of this fight. If we decide to willingly give up our guns as adults, help us create an equal gun control fight against even those who are supposed to protect us, but instead have created a lawful genocide against us all. From tragedy to action, young people across the state coming together to let the country know they are tired of nothing happening in this country to save their lives. Our cry, enough, says it all. It doesn't matter who started it, it takes all of us together to change the world. I hope this will be one of the most successful movements in our history. March on!
I grew up on a street with a boy a bit younger than I was. His last name was one letter different from mine, and we always got off at the same bus stop, so everyone thought we were siblings. Sometimes when we would see him, I would tease him and call him my little brother. A few years ago, when I was an 8th grader at Central High School, a student brought a loaded gun to school and it discharged in the cafeteria during my lunch period. My little brother was the closest person in the whole school to being shot. In a crowded lunchroom, it was a miracle no one was hurt. It was a miracle he wasn't hurt. All that day, my classmates and I argued about what the noise in the lunchroom was. Someone said it was a gun. I thought it was just some books falling, because that stuff doesn't happen to me, not at my school. But for the first time, I contemplated that someone had brought a loaded gun into my school and could have shot me, a 14-year-old having lunch with my friends, with such ease. It is horrifically easy to obtain firearms these days. I say this as someone with a family that has guns, and I say this as someone who is quite a good shot, if I do say so myself. But that wouldn't help me if a mentally unstable kid came up behind me and shot me in the back on my way to second period Spanish. Since 1999, more than 26,000 kids, just kids, have been murdered by gun violence. More than 38,000 people died from gun violence in just 2016, and an American woman is shot and killed by her partner every 16 hours, while only 13 states have closed the loophole that allows abusive dating partners to possess guns. 30 Americans are killed by gun violence each day, and 50% of them are black men. And black men are only 6% of the population, by the way. Domestic shootings disproportionately hurt black women, and nearly 20 American children are shot on an average day. And the USA has more gun deaths than any other high-income nation. Politicians offer their thoughts and prayers. We don't pay you for your thoughts and prayers. Wait. The NRA does. More than 4.5 million to Roy Blunt. Well, here is some news, sir. We will vote you out. We want stronger background checks. We want bans on assault-style rifles. We want you to close loopholes like the boyfriend loophole. Our current lax gun laws are not only bloody, despicable legislation, but they are sexist, racist, and putting our children in danger. We want gun control. Listen to us or prepare to leave your seat in government. I vote next year. I can't wait to vote you out. Thank you.
If y'all don't know who I am, y'all about to know after this.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
My name is Larry Flanoy. I am the creator, the man with her. We are the ones behind the wave that's growing on Springfield called 417 Day.
Hello.
How many of you have heard about this?
Yeah. Not enough.
417 Day is a community event that we are hosting on April the 17th. It's the first annual 417 Day. It's about community. It's about love. It's about everything that I see all of y'all standing out here for today. So give yourself another round of applause.
Please join me in welcoming former Governor of Missouri, Bob Holton, to the state.
Hundreds of other cities in this state and nation you have witnessed in your own location death, destruction, and violence. Whether you talk about Columbine, and the massacre that occurred there, or Las Vegas, or the Pulse nightclub, violence has been everywhere in our culture and in our country.
Just because there are other ways for people to kill one another doesn't mean that it's not in the public's best interest to restrict the most common way that people currently kill each other.
Eager to rise to stardom? Maybe one day Lil Yachty will tweet out your dope mixtape on SoundCloud. Martin Scorsese might buy a screenplay you wrote. Or perhaps you will fall in love with a superstar and some of their fame will rub off on you like lotion off their palms. But if you're hungry, bloodthirsty even, for stardom, then maybe consider becoming a mass shooter. This is a rare opportunity and a challenge in most modern civilizations, but find reassurance knowing your government is behind you every step of the way. You won't get a chance like this in the European Union. Maybe Norway if you're lucky, but for the most part, those countries understand what protecting their citizens looks like. I regret the losses, mumbled cowards, like this is a never-ending game of sorry as your representative slides into their safe zone, handed prayer beads by Remington and the NRA carved from our skeletons. Prayer beads don't stop buckshots and bullets, no matter how much they are paid off by interest groups to neglect us. We are out here, innocents in the crossfire, while Congress plays Monopoly with our lives. No one will stop you if you play by their rules, so kill. And take your chance at fame while you take the same opportunity away from others. Enjoy everything that comes with it. Know that because of you, I have to stand. We stand to protect those that nobody else will. Cause a social disruption. Organize people, get in someone's way, make them uncomfortable for goodness sake. Make someone uncomfortable. Their discomfort will never be greater than the pain that they will cause other people.
My name is Eris Dalton. I am a junior at Lebanon High School and I am 17 years old. But today, that's not who I am. Because today, my name is Sarah Stricker. I'm 14 years old and I'm a freshman at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High. And this is my story. At 2:17 p.m., my classmate Luke knocked on our door twice, and then 3 shots were fired. We all looked around at each other for a moment. 2 more shots were fired. I looked at my teacher. She waved her arms, silently indicating for us to go behind her desk. We all ran without hesitation. We heard about 5 shots echo in the hallway, along with what sounded like the screams of fellow students. I didn't see Gina in the classroom. I had forgotten she was doing a project in the hallway. I didn't know that across the hall, in my English class, 5 students were shot. 2 of them died instantly. 1 died later that same day. I'm sorry. Next door to them, a girl was shot and killed. I heard him banging on our door. A few rounds of bullets came flying through the window of the door. The glass shattered, covering the floor. Gunpowder and dust from the broken cabinets he shot were in the air. He leaves my class and goes on to the one next to mine. He shoots the window and the door, shooting 3 students. I'm sorry, this is already hard to read. Then he puts the gun in the room and shoots a few more students, killing another. He moved on to the 2nd floor and killed 1 person. He stopped his gun to reload when a freshman was walking out of the bathroom. He told him, "Run, it's about to get messy." The boy listened. He ran. I don't know where to, but he ran. The fire alarm went off. 3rd floor began to evacuate, still not aware that anything was going on. In the crowded hallway of the 3rd floor, the gunman was seen. Mr. Bagel got everyone he could to safety. He opened one of the classroom doors, shoved students in, and slammed the door as fast as he could. Many students died on that floor. I'm not sure how many. A girl was shot 9 times in the stairwell and killed. She was a senior. His gun stopped working, so he dropped it and ran. For the next 10 minutes, my classmates and I were on the floor, trembling with fear. We couldn't make any of it out. But at 2:36, we heard a bunch of talking. We heard a man's voice from the hallway. The only thing any of us could understand was, 2 victims over here. Gina and Luke. They were supposed to be inside the class. Aria looked at me and whispered, 2 victims? Then covered her mouth in fear and disbelief. "You're going to be okay, Aria," I assured her, but I didn't know that. At 2:37, a SWAT team member used his gun to knock down what was left of the window and the door. All of us turned our heads, not knowing who it was this time. I thought my life was about to be over. The man opened the door a crack. Another man held up a gun and asked if we were okay. My teacher told us to be quiet, so we nodded our heads. Next door, I heard someone scream. It was not a scream of joy or excitement. It was one out of genuine terror and fear. A few seconds later, a different SWAT member walks in and asks if we're okay. He tells us, "I want you guys to walk out, but don't look around. We don't want you seeing what's going on." As he got up, I held onto my friend's hand. I knew there was shattered glass on the floor, so I was looking down to avoid it. I didn't expect to see a blood-covered laptop on the floor, 2 puddles of blood, one that was larger than the other, 2 lifeless bodies, blood pouring out of them, dust in the air, or bullet holes in the walls. And I definitely did not expect to remember those details so vividly, or to have those memories in my head constantly. Once we got past Gina and Luke, Aria screamed, "They're dead! They're really dead! This is real!" We were out of the building, now running. All around me, I saw police officers, their cars, EMTs, ambulances, SWAT, FBI, cameras. It was real. And it shouldn't have been real. That should have been a nightmare. None of those students should have ever had to go through that. This isn't okay. This is the farthest from okay things can ever get. And the fact that no one is doing anything, the fact that students are the ones having to stand up, isn't right. But we'll do what's right because no one else is, and we have to. Thank you all.
I'm here to support these youth because no matter what disagreements you might have with the conclusion, the goals, the fact is kids are dying, and this needs to be fixed.
I'm tired of the lies, tired of the distractions, I'm tired of the bullshit. When prayers are not enough, how many more innocent children need to die before we all realize that guns are the issue and we need change? Thank you.
Breaking point for so many social justice movements. We see this in the Me Too movement. We see this in the Black Lives Matter protests happening in
angry people, and no conservative kid or adult can make me shut up.
There you go.
Wait. The NRA does.
Hello.
More than 4.5 million to Roy Blunt. Well, here is some news, sir. We will vote you out.
According to the Washington Post,
protest gun violence against students.
What are you doing? It could go on and on and on. It is time for this to stop.